2009, Paul Arjuni was a vineyard management company in Anderson Valley and is an old friend, asked me to take a look at an undeveloped piece of land in the deep end of Anderson Valley. It was a site I'd never seen before, but it intrigued me that he was interested.
So Tuesday morning, Ted and I just drove through the coastal range of California to get out to Wendling Vineyard here. We passed by the 4 other vineyards we work with: Savoy, Roman, Cerise, 1 Acre, and we're all the way in the deep end.
When Paul first established the vineyard, Paul Arjuni, the name question obviously came up, and I asked him to look into a little bit of the history of the area and see if he had something. And he came back to me one day and said, well, I have an idea. It's kind of an unusual name, but the name of the family that settled in this area back in the day was Wendling. And they had approached the county of Mendocino about creating a town, an incorporated town, which would be called Wendling. And this is the beginning of the 20th century. And the plans were underway when the 1908 earthquake hit, and all of the labor pool and all of the materials and all of the wood was suddenly going off to San Francisco for the rebuild. So the town of Wendling is the town that never happened in Anderson Valley.
Until 10 years ago, and now it's just a very small town, right?
Now it's a small vineyard, but we like it. So what the hell, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so that's kind of fun.
Planting a vineyard on an undeveloped piece of land is always a challenge and a risk, especially when you decide to do it as the last vineyard in Anderson Valley.
So most modern vines are grafted, and that's the graft union right there. What's below this point is the rootstock, and then from here on up is the actual Pinot Noir or whatever the grape variety might be. And in Wendling, what we've done the first time that I had the nerve to do it is actually to change rootstocks in the middle of the row. So different rootstocks are suited for different soil types and soil moisture holding capacities. So the top of the rows in this block are actually stronger and have better soil. And so the top, we put a less vigorous rootstock, 3309. And then from the point where I'm standing on down, the rootstock changes to 1103 Paulson, which is a more drought-tolerant, vigorous vine, and therefore more suited to shallower, rocky soils. So you actually don't end up seeing a difference within the row where the top is more vigorous and the bottom is less vigorous. Because obviously for wine quality, the more evenness you can get, I think in general terms, the better off you are.
During the development phase, Paul asked me to help him with all of the soils work on the property. The problem, as we looked through it, was that everything looked great. So how do you pick which parcel to actually purchase from? We shot this little film in midsummer at the end of July. 6 weeks from now, the winery will be full of the smell of fermenting grapes, including the ones from Wendling. We can't wait.